Hello everyone and welcome back to Cloud's Fortresscraft Frozen Factory, where the cryoplasm's pretty much doing what I said it would do. It is now advancing over in this corner, and it's pushing further down towards the middles. So I have brought power down from 3 or 4 more locations to kind of try to help keep them at bay at least. Another thing I've done is I've started to bring my low-grade steel makers up here. So I've set up the positions for them. I'm going to run this power line further over and down. And I'm going to set up low-grade steel bars. And then we're going to start making advanced machine blocks. And then we'll bring the Mark 1 through 5 producers down here as well. And that one will be a lot trickier because they require a lot of power. So those will probably run closer to this setup, which is now has way more power than needed. These batteries and all have been full forever. The Mark 5 won't get above what the Mark 4s can hold because it's directly attached to them. If I were to leave a space and just beam the power down from lasers, he could get up to the 4.5 million. And I probably will end up doing that, but I'm not worried about it right now. Because nobody needs power. The only ones who need power just need lenses and more lasers. And I'm actually out of chromed lenses right now. But I do have more chromium to invest towards these machine blocks. So we have roughly 113 of each. We're building towards our next particle filtration setup, which will be, of course, chlorine and then sulfur, and we need all 3 of those to really get much more going on in the game. I mean, there's still a little bit here we can do, a little bit there, but I don't want to put too many of the new resources into more blast furnaces, because the sorting system I have now can't even handle it. You know, I'm having to grab every half hour or an hour or so. I'm having to come out here and clean out these hoppers, otherwise things aren't moving. Now this one's fine. I haven't cleaned this one out in a long time. And this one's actually looking fine too. So I haven't done anything differently. It's just sometimes it gets really congested, so I don't want to add more smelting until we get the mass in outports. And it's definitely not a resources. They have plenty of ore to smelt. So, I don't know. It's not spikes in power. It's just, I think it must be just a random chance that a bunch of nickel got in the row and then they all were able to go in easily, because these input ports, they can carry up to 25 items. Now they can only carry one type of item at a time, so if 25 nickel bars is introduced into there, it'll be able to carry all 25. But if, say, 5 nickel bars, or like you see in this one, there's 2 nickel bars and then a chromium, it'll grab both of those nickel bars and then it'll depart, come back, grab the chromium, and then, you know, it's hard to tell what's going to come out next. That's why there's a filtration system. That's why I had a filtration system, but it couldn't keep up. And it seems like, you can see here, there's like 15 nickel bars in a row. So that's going to make, this one right here has like 5 or 6 in a row. You know, it's going to grab all 5 or 6 of those, and then however many more nickel bars come behind it, and then it's going to go do the next thing. So when it has bits like that, it seems to be able to filter all of this just fine. But every once in a while, it seems to have just a nickel, and then a chromium, and then a molybdenum, and then it takes too long to sort everything. So I don't feel right now adding more blast furnaces here is in my best option. If I do add any more blast furnaces, they're not going to be connected to the whole system, and I'm only going to feed a specific type of ore into them. But for now, I'm trying to use my extra bars, like I have 172 chromium, 72 molybdenum, and 30 compressed freeze-on canisters those are all going to go into my tech lab, and we're going to see how close we are to Trencher Mark IIs. Because I'd like to get to those in this episode. Make that the goal, if you will. So we only need chromium and the compressed Freon canister, which is good. Now we still have plenty of time to actually collect the rest of the Freon canisters, because the next research I want to do is going to require things that we're not even making yet. So 363 canisters is kind of a lot. Almost tempting to put my next particle compressor on the Freon setup like I did in my first playthrough, but I'm going to try to avoid doing that. Get all three of them set up and then move on to
powering
the next. So we'll be back in a little while. Alright, I've got the low-grade steel bars all set up, 3 setups of those. Now we have our advanced machine block assemblers. Power. They're kind of just stealing power from the crystal clock setup, but that's okay because they use like 0.1 power per second or something like that. So we have 2 crystal clock setups, 3 low-grade steel bars. Should be way more than enough to keep these advanced machine block assemblers going full time. And then the final touch is the advanced machine block assemblers uniting. They'll be brought over here. Then I'm going to set up my Mark 1 through 5. 1 starting all the way over here. Probably. And then going along. We'll have the copper coiler. And then the Mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm debating just tearing down my other setup. Or should I leave that up for now, because it is still being used for the automation of quite a lot, actually. The Mark 1 through 5s are all being used for the mass input outputs. And I need 5 of each of those for each, or not mass, well yeah, I guess they are called. But I need 5 of each input and output for the bulk mass in out. The one that moves them instantaneously. And I have been feeding lots of resin and the advanced machine blocks are pretty much fine. It uses way less than those. But you can see it's actually using these boosters for the production of a lot of things. So I think it would probably be easier to just go ahead and make another setup for now, instead of rebuilding a bunch of automation that I'm not even going to need for much longer. So we have 11 input, 27 output, so that's 19 and 31, plus we have everything down below this to empty out this mass storage system of bars that aren't being currently used, since we're just throwing everything in there. I have this huge setup here, I've shown it before, of all of these heists to just deliver it. So there's another 25 outputs that are all Mark III that are all ready to be upgraded. So I don't need the system for too much longer. And of course most of these inputs along here, there's another 30 or so. So I think it would probably be easier to just build a new power booster setup. I've got a lot of inventory space, but you need a lot. Not for the first one. Oh, it's only 8 now? It used to be something like you needed 30-something power boosters to make the power core charger, but I guess he lowered it to a more reasonable amount. It is the hardest part about it is having the 32 open inventory spaces, in my opinion. Since I'm already making, though... Oh, well, we're not... Mark 1 power booster. Where are all of them? Well, they're all being used because of the setup. Like I said, it's actually using them faster than, or just as fast as I can make them. That's just because the power is laughable. The amount of power going to this system is just laughable. So I think I'll just do my own. Do bars into wires, all of that. We'll just leave this alone completely. See if I have any extruders on me, or built already. We have pipe extrusion. That's not what I need. No. Okay, so what does the extrusion plant? Copper plate, tin plate. Okay. Well, tin plate, I obviously carry around as many of those as I can, so there's some copper plates. And I'll just make several of these because I'm sure at some point I'm going to end up needing more of them. So we'll start with the extrusion plant. And for now, I don't actually have any copper going into the mass storage system down below. We haven't tapped any copper, we're not smelting any. However, I do have 213,000 copper bars in my inventory. And quite like what I've done with the iron here, I've set up a whole bunch of inputs, and I just dumped like 50,000 iron over an experience. Oh, you know, over like 20 different trips. You know, I dumped a whole bunch of iron in there. Maybe not 50,000, but you know what I mean. But I am already smelting iron, so next we'll do copper. We get a whole bunch of copper bars in there like this. There is a huge copper vein right down this giant hole I made. There's like a 25 million copper vein or something. So we'll hit that up eventually. But for now, I can just put them in there like that. And at some point, I'm either going to come from... I think I'll come from this direction because the Mark V power booster is the one that requires the most power. So it would probably be smarter to have it down that direction towards the power source. Mark 1, Mark 2, they don't really require too much power. So we can put those towards the back. So I think I'll start with 2 for now. Set it to copper. Give them a hopper. And I'm probably going to need to make more transport pipes soon. Because everything I build down here has to be built on with pipes. I can't build it with conveyor belts. That would be a very bad thing to do. I'd have Minox eating very valuable things that I don't want them to eat. So here's our extrusion. Bars into wires. Oh. Silly me. I'm also going to need the coiler. Copper plate and copper wire. Okie doke. Not a problem. I'll be right back. Luckily, I have all these convenient hoppers set up here to collect these things like copper wires and copper plates. And of course, these are just perpetually full because the only thing we're smelting up here now is tier 1 ore. We're getting a little bit of tier 2 from the quarry, but it's just a laughable amount compared to what else is coming in.
Crafting.
So again, I'll make 5 of those, so we have a couple extra on hand for the next time we run into the fact that we need them. Which I was getting a warning, since I keep clearing all of my extractor offline messages, they decided to bother me with the spider bot needed more power message. So I might end up making more power core charger things for him as well. Because he seems to be the one holding off most of the aggression. So actually, I don't think we need that. I think we could feed it directly into a coiler. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, now I'll probably have to make another trip down because I forgot to see what the Mark 1 takes. Copper coil times 5. Okay. Well, that really is just me waiting for 3 more copper coils to come out. So let's do a quick run around the perimeter. We're going to be just seeing a solid wall of cryoplasm. Only interrupted by places where there's solid blocks already there and they can't get past. If it gets too bad, I have plenty of construction paste, 200,000. I could build a second wall and kind of try to funnel the cryoplasm to where I already have lancers. See, we're gonna need some here. Saw that grow. I just saw it move. Go away. You are not welcome here. Alright, that was enough time wasted. We should have enough copper coils by now. Aha! Plenty. Now I have like 7 that I'm never gonna do anything with. I don't know why I broke this last time.
Crafting.
So 1 Mark 1 power core charger. Start with 1. Now this is for a machine block, for the imbued machine blocks. Right now I have 3.3 thousand, but that's nothing. I had like 5,000, and this is as far as it's gotten me, so let's get rid of that and put you down. Actually, he needs to, I think he needs to pull from a hopper. Even if he doesn't, I can get rid of the rest of those. So we need 100 power per second. It's not a whole lot, but this one is blocked. Again, probably by that resin still. I did move the laser, the resin liquefiers and ablators around a little bit to help, but it's not enough yet. So you're powering. No, you're powering the particle filtration. I don't want to bother you. You're powering a laser, but there's really nothing here. So for the first Mark 1 and Mark 2 power core chargers, we'll use this guy. Not going to get as far as I'd like him to, but that's okay. Make sure that that hooks up. All right. Now I'm thinking I could probably move my machines, but it's all right. I'll accept this. That lines up. We need 1, 2, 3, 2. Battery 3. let's go this way instead. 1 with the battery. I'll get it right eventually, I promise. There we go. Now he has power with some to spare to be continued down the line. And when we have 8 Mark I power boosters, which really shouldn't take too long. See, how long does this take? 5 seconds? This is probably faster than 5 seconds. Well, we'll see. If we run out of copper coils because this makes them too fast, then I'll add another setup. That's why I have 5 of them. But for now, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next one.
Crafting.
And I'll continue this along a little bit, and I'll come back in a little while. I want to try out something someone told me. / detail bloom. Ah, that's nice. Basically, that's to kind of lessen the effects that the lasers have, so that you can actually see. And it is very effective. I approve. So anyway, it makes it easier if I don't fall down this hole. First of all, I beamed over 3 lasers, 1 with a regular exceptional lens, 2 with the chrome. The exceptional's going to the Mark III, the first chromed is going to the Mark IV, and I'm almost out of power, so let me grab some. Arthur's busy charging, so he's not going to be charging me right now. So the Mark IV is getting this one, and then the Mark V is going to be coming over momentarily. 7, 8. Mark V also needs resin, which no big deal. Have plenty. Plenty. I've even shut off. I actually shut it off long ago. It's not self-feeding anymore. I pulled half the generators out. There it is. Not needing so much resin now, so trying to use some of that resources on other things. So now I think it's this line right here we want to clear out. You knock all that out. And then we're going to clear out those. Polish the lens onto there. Make sure that this is coming down right. Now I've already got the other 2 in the same line to come off. Alright, perfect. Now this does desire 2,000 power per second. And with this we're able to deliver almost, looks like about half. Did I miss one? No, I don't know. That's just how it works. And I guess I was wrong about the Mark V power storage, because now he's holding double the power or triple the power that one of these would hold. So I don't know what was causing him to be so lazy before. Maybe he actually needed to have transmitters connected to him to do that. I don't know. But no matter what, he would not go above 270,000 before. And now he will. So we have Mark V power boosters being made here. And we have these being made here. So they don't really need to go that way anymore. That didn't end up going nearly as far as I thought it would. Instead, I did not want to do that. You know, instead of having this suspended in the air, I would rather bring it down as soon as I can. Because if I want to build another level of machines above these, it doesn't do to have pipes hanging everywhere. So we'll do remove only, remove only, last one there. Alright, now that machine is actually still on the surface. I haven't grabbed it yet. Do I have anything? Yes, I have a Mark V. Let's get that out of there now. And I accidentally took out my output. There we go. So really all that remains is to get the imbued machine block maker, smack him right there, and I don't really know how much power that requires. So before I tear it apart, I'll take a look at it and see how much power it requires. Oh, it must be dark. The sun's down and I didn't even know it. This was just easier. Come on, world, load already. Thank you. So 15 power per second. That's nothing. So I can go ahead and now pull all of this lovely machinery down. And we'll just leave all of this Mark V stuff up. We'll gather them as we need them, pull that one off, so that it doesn't add any more. And then as we're using them, we'll break down the machines, because it's going to be very hard to carry around all of those power boosters. But I can use them for things. I can actually just also use them for power too. So I need to now go hook up. Well, I don't like how when you first see a battery it'll appear to be empty, and then the second time you look it's full. It makes me stop and look at things twice. Imbued machine block assembler. Now we're probably going to end up making another one of these, depending on how quickly he can actually pump these out. So this doesn't really look like it's tapped out. I don't see any reason why. I can't just do that. Let's see, we're gonna go this way with it. And 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 was too far. There we go. 3 would actually work if I wanted to make a second one of them, place it right next to, and then funnel these so that they're also feeding that. But I'm honestly not quite sure how much time this will take. It's not getting full power, so you can't go on how much time it says it'll take. I could feed another line into this. Only 5 seconds if it's getting full power. It's getting about half the power, so about 10 seconds for each. These are 15 seconds, so he could still probably, and especially if I feed him another one, he could feed 2 of these imbued machine block assemblers. Because I need to feed the imbued machine block assemblers into these. And they've actually stopped producing because they ran out. That's not good. Well, at least the hopper that they feed into hasn't even filled up yet, so that's not a bad thing, really. Got 36, 158. I'm trying to keep my number of them even. 113 of each is what I have now, so I wait until there's 100 in both, and then I grab the 100. Excuse me. I know, I'm crazy. It's fine. So I don't actually have enough transport pipes. And I'm not even sure how I would do it with transport pipes. Probably feed it in there, and then out, and then there, and then out, and then there. I wonder if that'll be too slow. These do kind of take a little while, because I need more. Oh, yeah. I need the bars, that's what it is. I don't know, how would that even look? Probably terrible. Just terrible.
Crafting.
So I'm thinking feeds in like that, and then he can share like that, and he can share to that. I don't know how effective that will be. So let's try it. It does mean that I no longer have to worry about it running out. Because even if they're not all getting as much as they need, at least it's being brought automatically now. So if I am a derp and I forget again, the production doesn't stop. That's the important part, to me anyway. We could probably help this out a little bit as well. Giving them some more bars. It looks like these are doing just fine. This is full. I am running a little bit low on these alloyed machine blocks. 265. That's enough to make another arc smelter if I so wanted to. But I probably need to start focusing a little bit more on getting that research finished. So I'm going to grab my compressed freeze-on and then go see how the research is doing. Oh, we're 93 chromium and 331 compressed freeze-on. So here's the chromium. So we're just going to be... Oh, let's see, we got 28 in there. About 300. If we remember, it was at like 500. So that's not too bad. We'll probably have half of our chlorine setup done before we get to that. So come on, Arthur. We're going to go grab some ore and get some more bars made. But now we can focus all of our tier 4 bars into making the magnetized and chromed machine blocks. I know this episode's going on way too long, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. But in between episodes, I'm going to try to clean up all the old machinery. And if my base decides to load here, there we go, I'm going to keep feeding my resin into these machines, my blocks. I'm going to try to get more of the mass storage machines out as I can. But I'm going to go turn off the copper coming into the system right here. So I'm going to let it work through the rest of what it has. And hopefully that'll give me... And actually, I'm not going to cut off the copper there. I'm going to cut off the copper for the power boosters. Because I do still need a lot of copper wire for the automation of the input-output. These things. In case you have no idea what I'm talking about. These are what's being automatically produced. Mark III. There's a lot of work to set it up. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll hope to see you next time.